These are cloud resources. Now, I'm just going to go briefly through the presentation on how we are going to do things for the hackathon. And then after that, I'll take you through, I'll walk you through how to onboard and use the cloud resources available for this hackathon. Yeah, so this is a brief presentation. So this hackathon basically is sponsored by the STI, that's Science, Technology and Innovation Secretariat, and ABQ, maybe in Europe or in America or in Asia. I think AWS and Azure have data centers in South Africa, but AfriCloud, I mean, ABQ Cloud is locally hosted. ABQ Cloud is a partnership between AfriCloud and Rock Cloud. AfriCloud bringing the technology and Rock Cloud bringing the partnership with the Ministry of the Secretariat of Science and Technology. Yeah, so the next slide just highlights the partnership. This slide is shared in the events site, the website. You can go through it after. Sorry, what
Eric,
this
we can't see your slides. We can't see your slides.
Oh, sorry. Didn't share. Let me correct that. What, do you see my screen?
With a thumbs up, because I see his screen. I wanted to reply.
Do you see my screen?
Yeah, now we can.
We can see.
So these are the main highlights of this hackathon: build AI solutions, develop artificial intelligence applications and that leverage machine learning and data analytics. Hardware integration, we are looking a lot at push towards semiconductor technology so that we can have IoT solutions and we can really integrate and pick environmental data to use in our cloud to solve local problems. And lastly, we're looking at what is a sovereign cloud platform. So we want our data to be resident in Uganda and not be used by anybody else, managed and looked after by Ugandans. These are the target sectors, as you know, for this hackathon: agriculture, tourism, mining, and what drives it all, science and innovation. So the main thing really for this webinar or meeting is to understand the cloud infrastructure, what we have. ABQ is bringing an infrastructure as a service platform. And on this platform, you'll be able to deploy virtual machines, storage, networking through a self-service portal, which I will show you later. Every team member or the team leads will first go and create their own user account, and after that, we will give them access to the portal where they can deploy a VM and deploy their applications on it. We are also offering a platform as a service environment, which will allow faster deployment of applications. So this allows you to deploy databases, things that can handle workflows. If you need any authentication for your applications, all these can be deployed in this platform as a service. It just allows rapid deployment. It's something that will be like Heroku. Yeah. So this platform as a service will allow rapid deployment of applications. There are pipelines in there. You can deploy from your version management system, GitHub. You can deploy from Docker. You can deploy a vanilla zipped file. And all this can be automated. So depending on how far along you are in your hacking, you'll have quite enough of tooling to drive you. The infrastructure has the self-service portal. I will show you that. it allows you to just create your own user and create your own resources with minimal supervision. There will be some restrictions because of the number of people and whatever they can do and the resources available. So we will be letting the team leaders manage the creation of the resources and then allow only the team members to use them. So not everyone will be allowed or given permission to create resources. So through the self-service portal, you can deploy virtual machines, you can deploy storage, you can do your networking in there. There are various networking constructs. You can deploy load balancers, ingress controllers, as reverse proxies. All these things are available to you. You can also have some real-time monitoring and scaling. Depending at what level you are and what stage you get to the hackathon, and if you go to the market, then all these resources will become in handy. So this is the link for the console. So when you go to that link, it redirects you to an identity and access management portal. This is where you create your user. Once you've created your user, then you can log into the main portal to deploy resources. We'll come back to this just at the end of the slide. And then this is the PaaS platform. It's based on Qualify, which is an open source self-hosted platform, but we deployed it as a managed instance to make it easier for you to use without having to go through the pain of deploying it. From here, you can deploy applications, databases, microservices, Docker containers with just a few clicks. So it will be wizards that do this for you. And you can use more the programming languages and frameworks that you are used to with monitoring and backup capabilities built into the platform. So I'll also go to that. That's what it looks like. So here is where you log in. For the team leaders first, they will self-register here. Just like here you register. There's self-registration. So on both platforms, there's self-registration. You go through this. Once the team leaders self-register, then and they have organized themselves in teams, then they can guide their team members on self-registration. So part of the goals of this hackathon is to get some members who are not used to this self-service deployment of applications used to the whole process. Many of you will be used to this. You'll have deployed maybe applications on Google. Google is quite popular for the development community here. But for those who are not, then this will be a cost-free environment to hone your skills. Okay. So how will we go about this? First and foremost, we want to onboard the team leaders so that we assign them the resources, the groups, and then they'll bring on their team members gradually. They'll manage the onboarding of team members. We don't have the bandwidth to onboard every team member and guide them, but once we are done with the team leaders of each group, then we can have them guide their team members to come on board and get access to the resources. So what will happen first is account registration. You just create a user account on both platforms. After you create a user account, then you send your verified address to our support team so that we can assign you to the tenancy that is for the hacking. That tenancy allows you to deploy resources, and it kind of give you access. Once you have access to the environments, then you can deploy your resources. The first resource you'll deploy will be a virtual machine. Once you deploy the virtual machine with specific memory, vCPU, and hard disk, then you can invite your team members to use. or you can onboard them and let them use. And then lastly, Qualify needs to access this VM. So you will have to connect that VM to Qualify. So if you want to use Qualify, the other thing is you can use that VM as is without any without having to go through the Qualify platform. That's if you have the skills to deploy a DB or deploy Docker on your own and run it without the need of a front end. So what is the registration process like? You go to the Identity and Access Management portal, which is the portal I showed you. Moment. You come to this portal. Now, I hope you see this portal. It's iam.sti.go.ug, and you register. You create a username and password, and then from there you send that username and password to us, and then we will give you access to the tenancy that has where you deploy your resources. Once you've created your user account, then you can send an email to this with your verified account details. Once you create it, you'll get an email notifying you that you have registered and you verified. Once that you are verified, then you can log into console.sti.go.ug. So once you send us the email, we'll invite you to the tenant that has where you can deploy resources, and then you can start deploying your resources. We will guide you on that. You'll deploy a virtual machine. This is what we have allocated for the start for each person. If you need more capacity, then it will be on as a use case by case basis. So how will we access our resources in the cloud? There are two ways. You can use the web console, which will be that console.sti.go.ug, or you can use the WireGuard VPN. This is for security. The WireGuard VPN will be for all team members, and it will allow them to access the VM over the internet, but in a secure VPN. The team leaders will start with them, guide them on the environment, and then after that, we will get all the team members on board. Okay. Now on to the platform. Yeah, so I'm going to just start going through the how you register. I'll start from scratch. Now, when you come to our platform, typically you can go to the main page, console.sti.go.ug. If you're a first-time user, the very first time, it may redirect you to the identity and access management page. But in case it doesn't, then you will have a choice of where you log in. It gives you an option of register. But since I'm using a private window, then it redirected me to the identity and access management page. This is to log in or to register, whichever you're going to do. Whichever is uh, Sorry about that. Yeah, that's the page. So once you reach here, I will mimic that you don't have a user. So you go down to register now. Put in your first name, Eric, email, Eric, right, Sky, Cloud, password. I'll use this password auto-generated by my password manager. I'll accept the terms and conditions, and I will register. Once I select register, then I'll get a notification email which is used for verifying a one-time password. I'll pick my password. Yeah, and that is all there is to the registration. You fill in your details, you get a one-time password sent to you in the email you have put as the contact email, and then it invites you. Okay. Now, typically, if you're a normal user, a paying user, you can register a customer. When you register a customer, this is the tenant that handles all your resources, but it's also the tenant that is built. So for your case, this will be disabled, and you will only be after you've registered your user. Before you register a customer, you send us that user account, and we log in as admins and give you access. So let me now go and log in as an admin. I'll just share my screen after that. Do you see my screen? Now I'm logging in as an admin. Okay, I've logged in as an admin, and as an admin, this is now a different user. The first user I created was the demo user that you saw, and this is now really the cloud admin. Now we have this tenant that has been dedicated for the hackathon, and this is where you're all going to be invited in and as your teams. Each team will have access here. So I'll go here. Back to IAM. Always there's multi-factor authentication for fast logins. After you log in for the first time, then it will allow you to allow you to catch your password and you can use it. This is the 463.076. Three 076. So as the cloud admin for that instance, I will invite you into the organization, which is this. Invite a user as a member. So I'll invite the account I created first. It's guy. So this invitation will be pending, and you as the user, as the team leader, will go and log into your identity and access management and accept this invitation for you to be able to access the resources. So now I will go back and log in as a normal user in a private window. In my identity and access management. Okay, it's self-logged in quickly. You go to notifications and you'll see that you have been invited as a member to STI Industry _1. That is the organization, the tenancy. Before you accept this, you will not be able to deploy any resources. So always remember that after you've created a user, you sent us the email address, we have invited you, you have to come in through notifications and accept. Once you have accepted it, then now we can go to the actual portal where you can deploy resources. Yeah. So this is the portal where you can deploy resources. When you log in, you see STI Industry 4.0. You select that customer, and this is where all the magic happens. Here you can deploy cloud spaces. This is the virtual private network where you deploy your VMs and your storage. Object spaces is managed Kubernetes service. Object space is storage, object storage, like S3 compatible. Container spaces are managed Kubernetes service. You can deploy your Kubernetes service without having to run the entire installation. You can manage your disks separately, optimize them. You have vGPUs in case you need to provision. Yeah. And then admin. In admin, we have these constructs which help you run your cloud resources. You have a certificate store in case you have your own certificates. You want to store them here, or you want to generate certificates. You can use this certificate store. Roles are for role-based access control. You can assign what people can do as an account admin. We have a managed DNS service. You can bring your own DNS, domain name. These license modifications are for Windows licenses. So all these you'll use later on when more advanced constructs, maybe when you have a product that is out in the market and you need to you deployed it, then you'll find all these as convenient. But to start with, we'll go to Cloud Spaces. This is the most important thing at this point. You go to Cloud Spaces and you see the main cloud space there that you've been assigned, and then this is where you deploy your resources. We are going to do a simple demo of deploying a virtual machine. You will find the cloud space ready and to go. All you do is create a virtual machine. So on the top menu, there is create VM. You come and you create a VM from an image. An image is it's like a working snapshot of an installed OS. All you do is launch it. So you select create, you click next. We have several images, but the one really you should use in our case will be Ubuntu 24.04. It's free and it's lightweight enough and it has enough functionality. vCPU, you put to memory, you use 4096, and the boot disk size 100. So each team will be assigned this. And then you go to next, you choose data disk. We will not use the data disk for now. Usually you have the boot disk and the data disk. The data disk is, these are for more production level applications, just to ensure that your data is separate from your boot disk. So that in case anything happens to the OS and it becomes corrupted, then you can recover, or you can move your data disk to another VM and access it. So, but we will not be using that at this point. Then you come here and name your VM anything you want. Let's call it Red Apple. It gives you an IP address. You can use user data. User data just allows you to pre-install applications onto the VM. You will typically find a user data script here just to expedite things for you. But for now, I will just add my public SSH key to just make things easy for me. But I can log in. Then you create. When you hit create, then the VM is launched. It takes about 2 minutes. Should just have done that. Create. So if you use advanced user data, is you deploy everything you need, but we just need to use we don't select that switch and just put in our SSH key. That's why it threw that error. So now it's deploying the virtual machine. And with that, the virtual machine is launched. I'll split this window. To get my terminal there. Yes. Now that we're sure the thing is up, we'll go back to the level of the cloud of the cloud space. I want to show you another construct, the VPN. So you go up a level in the cloud space, and we are going to access this via VPN. So you'll come to WireGuard VPNs. Now here I've already created the VPN endpoint. All that the team leader will do is add their peer. So here you see I have one, Eric management. You select Eric management, and then sorry, now that was mine. Now you add your own peer. This will be for everyone who wants to access the environment via SSH or via HTTPS. They have to create their own peer. So once the team leader does that, he will guide his team members on how to come in and create the peer. So I'll say add peer. I'll add a new peer just for this new user mimicking. You generate a key pair manually. Most of these things are the same. Next. You NAT, select NAT here. Next. Leave everything here as it is. Name it. So I'll name this one Eric demo. And I'll add. And then you download config. Before you leave this page, make sure that you download the config because you will need this in your VPN software. So Eric demo STI. So the next thing I'll show you is you will all need to install WireGuard. WireGuard is a VPN. WireGuard it's a protocol, and it's inbuilt into this platform, this cloud platform for VPN services, for client access VPNs. So you need to install WireGuard on your machines. You download it and install it, and after that you use it. So manage tunnels. I use it quite actively, so I have quite a number of tunnels. I'll add a new one for this demo. I import from file, Eric demo, import. Come look for it here and activate. Once that is done, then now I should be able to reach my VM. I'll go back to the Hackathon. No, OpenSSH is a different thing. It can't. It would, but it's not the right tool for the job. You need to always use the right tool. The other option would be OpenVPN. OpenSSH means you'd have to let the SSH protocol out, which is what is being avoided. So this is the IP. So we first ping it to see if it's reachable. Yeah, we can ping it and the SSH to each user. So just going a step back, if you go to Red Apple, you can get the username and password. The default or initial username and password is the username is user and the password is initial password. But I added my SSH key. So I do not want to use the password, but I could use the password. So 10.100.100.5. Yes. Okay. It didn't add properly, so I have to try the password. Yeah, and then I log into my VM. So Now I have shown you. Now you can log into your VM. You can do anything in your VM. You can deploy your resources as you typically do on Ubuntu VM, which we will not go through now. But once you have the VM ready, and each team will have their own VM, then we will go to the next step, which is using the Qualify. Qualify is at that link. So you can self-register, Qualify. Demo user, email, eric.cloud, password, I will use that. And register. Once you register, then you get started. Get started. You go to self-hosting with the next. Now here you need to use the remote server you created. So you select remote server. Then do you have your own SSH private key? No, you don't at this point. So it says create one for me. And then it creates for you a private and public key. You copy the public key and you come and add it to this. You add it to your server so that what happens is you connect your Qualify to your server. But you must first be the root user. Okay. You add it to authorized users in SSH. Oh. Need to copy this again. Copy the public key and add this public key. Save and exit. So you save this demo. On description IP address. Remember that this IP is 10.100.100.5. Then we continue. Let's do it. So what will happen is it will go and install all the things that you need to access this server over Qualify. So now it's installing Docker, then it will install Docker Compose and the entire suite of everything you need. This will take maybe a few minutes. Let's give it some time and it does the installation. Maybe I'll leave this as is and show you one I've already installed. I don't know how long this will take. Yeah, this is one I'd already installed, where I had already the server running. Once it's installed and it's successful, then you'll see your server there. In this list, in your login, after you've logged in. So what now from the next step in that is you can now deploy your projects. I have several projects here, but I'll just briefly show you how to deploy maybe a simple application. I don't know where your applications are hosted. I would assume in version control systems or platforms like GitHub. So you can create a new project, demo project, continue. You select it, then you add a resource. So here is where you can choose your resources. You can choose a public repository if you have a GitHub public repository, a private repository where you need to add your integrate it with your GitHub to give access to this. You can use Dockerfile, you can use Docker Compose, you can use a raw Docker image. These are the databases you can deploy for your application. So all these you can deploy on your server. In case you have an application that needs a database backend, so the options are Postgres, MySQL, Maria, Redis, KDB, Dragonfly, Mongo for NoSQL databases. And then these are other services that you can use. If you need authentication, you can use Authentic. So generally, this is for you to self-host. So these are already pre-built templates that you can take advantage of in case you want quick. So I will say we deploy Metabase. Metabase is a BI system, open source BI system, and companies can use it to do business intelligence on their data. So big companies can deploy these. Organizations, say supermarkets, can use this. So once you've selected the template, then you hit deploy. But let me just see how far our thing went. This hour is completed. So the one we were running to connect the server, it completed. So just check on the server. Yeah, it's good to go. So going back to our old project, to our old environment, I'll create a new project. And select, maybe let's just deploy a database. We deploy a database. These are the things you need to fill in: the root password. You can fill in custom. These are default. So a lot of these things are default, and it can work on the default. But the one thing you must note is that some of these defaults they can easily be cracked. So it's in your best interest to change them. So I'll just deploy it without changing anything. I'll start the database. Now it's deploying. It's downloading most of these things are run in Docker, so it's downloading the Docker image. So it's pulling it. When it's done, it will start it up and you'll be able to access. So in a nutshell, this environment is using the server you created. So
Where?
Something has happened to the sound.
sorry about that. I think I muted myself by mistake, or I was muted. So now we're going to try and connect to this database. .100.5 demo hackathon. The IP is 10.100.100.5. The root password is here. Chain, okay. Test. That is the to find report 1000. And the turn on. Let's put that. Let's go and look for the port that was used, that was published. That appears. 3306. Why isn't this thing working? What? Okay, that's okay. Okay. Okay, now as you see on my MySQL workbench, I connected to the DB. So what I had to do was publish this port. So there are some things that need to be done. By default, security is high, so they don't publish the ports. But once you publish the port here, you are able to access your DB. So that will be the general flow of how you deploy. You create a user, get assigned to a tenant, deploy a VM, integrate with Qualify, and then deploy your applications. That is the general flow. There will be some deviations depending on different teams' requirements, and those we will discuss on a case by case basis and try and find solutions. I will endeavor to provide a video walkthrough for all this because as I see it is a lot to get in one go. But what I want to do is first onboard team leaders and guide them through, and then the team leaders can be the gateway to the entire team, since the team is very, very big. So I think you have some questions. I will answer some questions, and then I can close this. I have shared some of the resources on the event space, and there you see the documentation for the cloud platform for Qualify, and then the presentation that I used. I'll update it to include some steps for this. So I'll create a separate document and a video showing step by step to try and make your onboarding experience less painful. Yeah, so you can shoot with your questions. I'll try and answer as many as I can. I will also look through the chat. There are some questions which were being asked. Is it mandatory to deploy on the STI platform? I think that the STI team will answer. I don't know. The terms are really complex. Yes, I understand and appreciate that. Yes, this is a bit hard, but there's always a starting point. What I can advise is you try and ramp up your knowledge as fast as possible. But if you need help, then you can also reach out to your mentors and they'll guide you. A lot of these things are terms, but the main gist of this hackathon is for you guys to deploy, to innovate. So all the rest is just the flap around the hackathon. So we'll try and provide you as much support as we can to overcome any things you don't understand and guide you towards what to read. But yeah, the main focus is for you to hack, to build applications. Yeah, everything will be shared in the events in that website or STI provided where you registered. So we'll centralize all the information there so that we don't have different channels. As for the WhatsApp, Edith will answer that. I do not know. I personally don't like WhatsApp very much for official work. But if it has to be done, it has to be done. But the main point of contact is the event space. That site at least allows us to contact you and share information. And it is easily auditable.